I want to thank all of you for tuning in, either now or in the future. I want to explain a little bit about the difference between a guided session in my vision and the channeling that I often perform without notice, okay? But in essence, we're going to tune into the energy and I'm going to feel my own guidance as if I was walking with my soul. That's the nature of what most people are going to be doing in the future. In essence, they will stop with the idea of I'm going to bring through only visions of love from other souls that are outside of who I am in my moment. Now, in essence, I want to describe a moment of childbirth for many. So in essence, the childbirth vision is one that's coming through for many in this moment of dire straits, we would say. The vision of childbirth is something that a soul would often use to talk about the nature of their own child. So that's the nature of how we are viewed in many instances by our souls, as the children. We are the children, right? So that's how we are treated in essence, not to condemn you, but to guide you to that place of wonder and amazement and the discovery of who we are. That's the little bit of guidance that a soul session might bring through for someone who's in the vision of love. Now, if I was in the vision of a societal impact video, very few people would in essence want to hear about the derogatory comments that I often receive from those souls who watch it in their minds. It is not coming through from my family and friends. You must understand that those natures are very much of others who are now tapped in through it's the channeling of YouTube, okay? So the channels on YouTube are getting hit by those who are struggled in their mindset, looking for an out, in essence, on how to reveal the sources of information. So in essence, is this going to be a family, we were going to say family feud, right? How many people are in essence being told, please don't invoke the name of Christ upon my soul if you feel bad for me? Now, I've done a video about the nature of prayer for somebody, and most people will say, I don't see how prayer could be a dishonoring of anybody. If I'm placing that vision on your heart, I will take it as a beautiful expression. But in essence, I'm also going to let you know what it feels like if someone is constantly praying for you without you feeling like there is actually something wrong. Okay? That's the nature of some guidance systems. They say if you see something wrong with somebody, bless them and lift them up in that vibration. Or pray for them, and that will bring them that loving, conditioned mindset that you have that says that you are judging them for being outside of your own vision of who you think they should be. Do you understand how to unwind that in about 2 or 3 questions? Most people will not understand that vision as it's not negative, but it is a projection onto others. This is why we were talking about the nature of those who are of a religious aspiration may get a little offended by some of the visions that I hold, not only for myself, but for those who are in the vision of we're going to embody our souls outside of the ideas of religion. We understand the vision of religion as a loving, guided system to work within, to embody souls of others. Okay, that's the nature of a lot of guidance. They say we honor those visions of those outside of who we are, bring them in, invoke their names, and then we Christhood our souls. That's someone else's vision, okay? So this is why we were going to readdress this vision of why sometimes when you go through this process of unwinding the conditioning of Christ in your heart, how many people want to know what that felt like for Brenda? As a soul, you would understand it is not about denying the beauty or the love or the guidance of any soul that we ever come into contact with. Did I cross over into the heavenly realms with Christ as my guide? I absolutely did in his mind, right? I never saw Christ. I see the souls of those who I create with. I bring their information back. I'm not here to do the vision of Christ. For those of you that may still be tuned in who didn't understand the vision or see it from this morning about the nature of religious aspirations and what that means. Because in essence, the majority of the people who are going to be within my vision are actually those who are vibrating out of religion. And the mindset of I have to look outside of my own soul for guidance. At some point, you only turn in and you vibrate at the volume of, well, the volume could be a little bit louder, is what someone's saying. But, I'm a little bit in the gentle mindset, okay? So I'm not as loud sometimes, and I've got a new way of doing things right now. Some people will assume, oh, this is going to be one of those videos where we talk about Brenda's experience. Do you want to honestly understand what you may be in for if you start going down the path of I'm going to embody my soul? Your soul is so unique and beautiful that I can honestly say for 2 or 3 people I know, they've already started the process because they've always went within. Now, for those who say I brought Christ into my heart, I did that as a guide. I was told that. I never went to the book. I never went to the book except to look at it and disregard it as a guidance system for me. That's the nature of unwinding my soul from Christ, because I said those are someone else's words and they don't serve me, nor do I really want to embody that vision for myself or my children. How many people say that's sacrilege? Well, when you start to hear the visions of what I bring forth as soul, it is still of love. Okay, I am envisioning a beautiful soul there who says, I'm starting to build that nature of love for myself, and I want to thank you for your visions of love. I honor your hearts, whoever you are. It is no matter to me whether or not you are of religion or not, to be honest, because I can honor you wherever you reside, because in essence, souls are of dimensional shifts, okay? This is going to be one of those shifts that a lot of people are already in that process of realizing that I am experiencing, or people I know are experiencing visions of love and adoration from their own hearts. So this is that nature of self-love that we all want to bring within our soul. When we bring that vision of self-love in, and that was a strong message for those of you who were not able to attend or to watch the video, I'm going to put another link on that because that is an incredibly important part of this vision, is I am loving of myself whether or not I actually like who I am in the moment. So there is no doubt, no way that anyone who watches this video is in the vision of I don't love myself. Because you do, you just don't honor that vision of it. So maybe we have to unwind the vision in a session about why certain ideas are so hard for us to let go, right? Do I want to like who I am? What is it that I need to do in order to do that vision? Okay, that vision of like is very much of it's a noun, right? The liking of something, right? It's not a noun, it's an adverb, okay? But in essence, it could be anything, to be honest. We like you. That's what others are saying because they understand the nature of how many people say, I actually really love who I am. That's a beautiful place to start from as well. In honesty, it is for those souls who are already in that vision of, I have a loving heart. I just may not be for everybody else. So one vision is that I would always bring through is, I'm not your cup of tea. It doesn't mean I have a problem with you. It doesn't mean I don't send love to you, but we might just not be on the same page in some kind of vision. Or maybe we're not in the same vibration. That's where a lot of us reside in this moment. Oh, I can tell I'm not in the same vibration as certain people that I know because we don't get along. Well, let's be honest. Most of our issues that we have with people can tend to relate to a few different topics: politics, religion, or some sort of familial misunderstandings. Or, whether that it could be with an acquaintance even. But in honesty, a lot of our ideas about who we are often come from those visions of others. So they look at us, say something, do something we don't agree with, we don't believe in, we don't, have that vision, maybe potentially. And what happens? Instead of coming to an agreement, I honor your vision for who you are. Please honor mine. How many people ever can go to a table, sit down with someone that they dislike, and say, let's work things out? I'm honoring of your souls. For those of you who are still struggled in that mindset of, I don't want to do that anymore. What about if you have people that you are wanting to communicate with, but you don't want to, you don't want to infringe on their rights? Okay, I can't force my viewpoint on you. I'm not trying to force any vision on anyone's soul. If you are in that vision of I love you, we're all good. That's the nature of my heart. Okay, so it's not about trying to exclude people, but you do understand that your vision is very much invoked on the soul level. So some people will say, well, my soul is going to be very strong because I've embodied that vision of a Christ soul or Jesus. So I would expect my vision to be very uplifting. And are you feeling that vision in your light? How many people say they invoke the name of Jesus or Christ and still are struggled? And why might that be? Well, there's 5 people who would say, oh my gosh, we're going to go for it, aren't we? How many years of destructive behavior did I go through in my heart? Is this punishment for my sins? How many people feel like they are in that vibration of I need to be punished for my sins based on their vision of God? Now, Christ brought through those visions of God, right? His were of a loving, caring nature. They're very much within alignment of, that idea that, God can come down and strike us, right? It's not about trying to detour people in the mindset of Christ, but this is about the honesty. We have to look within and see how many people are living within the life of miracles and beautiful expressions and guidance versus I'm just praying my heart out every day for a miracle. It could even be a small little miracle, right? Anything, just to give me that hope that I am being heard by my angels. Well, you know what? Your angels are there. Your vibration is very much of I'm looking outside of myself instead of going within, for the most part. We look up to the sky. When we look up to the sky, we're actually in touch with our highest self for the most part. It's accessing a certain aspect of who we are, and most people don't want to really know about that kind of vision of it, but it's true. If you embody your soul, you're going to start to feel the visions of others that start to come through for you. These are your aspects of who you are in other dimensions. And most people are already off at that point because they say, I don't want to align with a higher vision of who I am. Right? What is a higher version of who you are? It's in a different it's like a different vibration, a different aspect, something you denied your heart. And we went over this before. Okay. But we want to make it clear what's actually going on. So some of those souls who saw my video might have said, I don't need to walk with my soul. I walk with Jesus, so I'm always protected. How's that working for you? Well, you're still here and you're living, so that's a good sign. Okay, because you are being guided by God or by Jesus. Okay, and this again, we're going to get off that vision of it. I want to talk about the nature of who I was before I embodied that vision of Christ. And where did that vision go of healer? Okay, so in essence, some people will assume that there are various methods of the healing modalities. That most people will assume only miracles can happen from a, religious understanding. No, your souls are creating them for us. We create those miracles, people. Whether or not you believe it or not, but you might be hanging around somebody who might be in the mindset that's somehow not incongruent. Well, it's not congruent with yours. So if we have collective mindsets on the line, right? You have to understand, am I by myself praying every day? Your soul is listening. If you're outside of the vision of religion, we're just going about our business. Our souls are still there creating with us. We have those aspects all along. We just didn't bring them out. It's more like bringing them from the inside out rather than from the outside in. And it's a process that many people who channel will start to get with at some point. You'll want to understand that the outside dimensions of childcare are part of that. I'm not going to deny anyone their vision of channeling or of guidance, because we do go outside of our own hearts to bring through the visions of others. But in essence, as a soul, we are all connected. That's the nature of all. So I don't have to sit there and imbibe upon someone else's guidance, but to be honest, how many people enjoyed the vision of Freddie Mercury as an example of those visions of I was sick was something that I was being, he hid it for the most part. But in essence, we're in that same kind of mindset of a visionary, right? I was a visionary and I was taken down by a disease, okay? How many people are going to be in that mindset of, I don't want to talk about Freddie Mercury or of his vision? Because in essence, they're still in that mindset of, I'd rather find out about my own career. So there are other people here who are still in the mindset of, I need a new career. Okay, this is not about looking in the mirror, honoring your hearts, and telling you guidance is always there with you. If you need something very specific, please reach out to me and I will honor your hearts. I already have sessions booked, by the way. But in essence, I will honor all those souls who feel like they're a little concerned about the information. Does it mean I have to start disbelieving in who I am? Holy moly, no, absolutely not. Who you are in your heart is still who you are. Your heart is always strong. Your heart is always visually stunning, because that's the kind of guidance that your heart, no matter where you are in your life, you will get those loving, caring messages from your own soul. If you start to bring out that vision of I'm going to look outside of myself for validation from others about who I am, we might give you that vision of, well, here's what people say about you. And it could be struggled in essence. And that's what happened yesterday. And we can talk about that vision, because it is the real deal when someone says to you, you are struggled in your mindset because you are supposed to be breaking free of certain people who are not in the same vibration as you. They fall off. They literally will start to fall off of that vision. Most people are like, oh no, I'm good with everyone in my life. We still create with them, whether or not they're in our vibration or not. So this is the nature. People are going to be talking about the nature of, well, did I discard someone too early and now they hate me? And, what is that dynamic? I don't hate anybody. I get frustrated sometimes with some of the stuff that I have to hear. It can be a pain in the ass, and I'm not going to lie about it, people, because I would have to guide you to that place. It can be painful if you're not willing to make those changes. How many people are willing to listen to their guides and do the work that needs to be done? This is the nitty-gritty of it. Now, in essence, this is why our eyes are opened up to that nature of what kind of work do I need to do to start that process of embodying my soul. Energy work was one suggestion, where you focus on one little thing in your life. In the morning or the evening is usually a good time to do this work. And you say, let me find the joy in one little thing. Let me take the time, smile, open wide, breathe in the vision of love. Because you've created that object or that vision in your mind. How many people know that? Find that object in that vision of yours. How many people actually decided to go outside for those 10 minutes, right, since the last session, at least into the sunshine of my heart? How many people, maybe simple, the simplest little things can start to turn into beautiful expressions? Buying a book. Now, when we say buy a book, people will say, that's how I learn. I'm always looking at other people's information. I don't anymore. For the most part, I am just in the vision of who I am. I don't need another soul's vision coming through for me about how my vision was not the best vision for them. So let's talk about this. In many ways, we guide each other. And even as a friend or family member or acquaintance or somebody, you could say, I love you, right? That's what our souls say. Someone doesn't understand that. When they say, I love you, that means it doesn't matter whether or not you are my friend or my enemy. I come through as love. Because that's what a soul does. We do not deny soul level understanding to any soul, whether or not you are hated by me as a guide, right? I'm not hating on anybody, but I have the frustration sometimes when I hear from certain souls who decide I'm not going to dishonor the vision of who she is, but I am going to put it out there that I don't want to partake in that vision with you. And that's the nature of it. So how many people say, yeah, I've lost friends or family members, or maybe they just didn't call me back. Maybe they didn't, understand who I was. Maybe they didn't agree with my vision of who I am to be, right? So sometimes we just let those people go. Does that end the soul level connection? This is where it can get tricky, people, because in essence, you're still creating with all. And those visions of energy, if I make a change here, which I did, and I mentioned this before, but I want to reinforce it, it means that those visions of who I am and who that other person are also on other levels of understanding. And all of those levels have to work to get through that vision of what this relationship is going to look like from a different perspective. Because in essence, had I made a different choice, my life would have been very much different. It is still there as an option for some people to get married again. Whoever's on this screen who's thinking, oh, I don't think I'll be getting married again, it is possible you might be getting married again. Now, the instant that I said that, someone's going, ooh, well, of course. There could be 5 or 6 people on the screen who are thinking, yeah, I'm going to be getting married again. In the vision of it, we want to talk about that nature. To love your hearts doesn't mean that we dishonor those who are not in that vision of, well, it's some people are saying, I want the career information for my heart. You're not going to get that right now. Okay. You will get married in a hall, right? So some people are going to get married in a hall type situation. And we want to honor your visions of love for your family members by saying, please take the precautions necessary. It's not going to look very good for the majority of the people, because they're going to say, oh shit, did I fuck up? No. There is no condemning of anybody for their decisions on when or how they get married. Others will say, oh, I was not married in the church. Others, we're not. This is judgment-free zone, people. Souls do not do. Souls will do that if it is expected. If you think in your mind you did bad, you're going to create that vision with your soul, and they will give you that vision of it. You will see it in the eyes of others, right? How many people say, oh, I didn't do things the way my mother or my grandmother or my family members thought I should, and so I was somehow condemned, to have this vision of my marriage doesn't really matter, doesn't count, because it wasn't official. Okay, I already know in my life who I am going to be with at some point. That's the vision of souls. So that's the nature. How many people want to know that kind of vision? Well, a lot of single people might be raising their hands going, ooh, I want that one. It's not about, we don't want you to deny the opportunity of growth and expansion of your vision to a loving, caring, open-hearted souls. That's what the majority of soul work is about, is opening our hearts, our minds, sometimes our greatest aspects, and sometimes they are the limiting parts of ourselves, right? It's guaranteed our minds are the thing that limit us from expanding our vision to one of love for all souls. How many people say, I'm not feeling the love because I was told my career is on the line and I need to be able to do this work without love? How many people actually do that and they don't even know that? Do you indeed embody the vision of love when you say something negative about somebody? That's a good question. I hear visions of love come my way as negative sometimes. And sometimes I can say, yeah, I guess I created that vision within my mindset. I was expecting to hear the worst thing from somebody else, based on something else from past. Now, in essence, we are not allowing people the ability to grow in their hearts and in their minds if we keep them in that position of they are still in the mindset of when we disagreed, or they're still, angry. What is it that would happen? People would need to communicate. Now, this is simple psychology for the most part, but in essence, it's not. Because most people still have that agenda behind them of, I've got my pride on the line. I'm not going to, eat crow, or I'm not going to bite the bullet, or I'm not going to sit there and apologize for something that I didn't do or I did do, because in essence it means that there's something wrong with who I am. Because if I apologize, do I have to sit there and actually do it? Do I have to apologize to a certain soul in my heart who says, I was the one that took you to the place where you could express your heart, your mind, and your vision of light, to be honest? How many people are thinking they are the ones that guided me to this place of love? And when I say that, people are going to start to go, well, what do you mean? I look to my heart and I envision beauty for every single soul. Whether or not they hit back when I came at them. So this is the nature. There's a disagreement going on in the heart of somebody else, right? If I get the vision from my soul, I don't know what's being said, but I know that someone else is saying, oh, there's an argument going on in the soul level. It is not an argument. They discuss the visions for us. Do you want to know? So people are going to say, oh no, we know for a fact there are evil souls in this world. That's why I never bought into it. I got 1 foot ahead of the other when I put that one out of my mind for a long freaking time. I did not create with that vision of evil. Therefore, I did not create it in your hearts nor in mine. So that's why I honor your visions whenever they are there. If they are in that mindset of, well, I've experienced that vision of it, you create that vision for yourself. Your soul will bring it to you if you need it, to show you what it's like so you can vibrate out of it if you need to. How many people stay in the vibration of I am the evil one according to my family? Okay, how many people would assume that I'm evil just because I'm doing the work that others don't want to do? Oh, I get the work that people would want to do. Trust me very much. If people don't want to know whether or not they can go out into the vision of I could walk, talk, and be with my guide and no one would ever know any different. Had I chose not to sit there and go on the screen and give guidance, you guys would have no idea. This was the vision of my family. My friends know me. My friends love me. My guides come through for them strong in many ways, and it is always in love, and it is an enlightening process for them. Okay, the clients that I have served, I have done so for free. Their vision was uplifted to a point of finally understanding the love that they actually had for each other and needed to create for each other again. So what is it in my life that people are not actually, well, you would have to invite in the soul of a lover. That's someone else in my life. Someone, well, I'm not going to say my life, but someone else in my mind is saying, oh, there's a lover on the line. No, there is no lover on the line in essence. Okay, this is interesting. What's going on here? Well, this could be the nature of opening up to the internet. Goodness gracious. So people are going to start to hear the stories of visions, okay? People who imbibe upon the vision of love or lovers, that's an ecstatic state of awareness in many ways in the mindset of some. And others are going to say, what is that vibration and how do I tap into it? Most people would not want to get out of the vision of a loving, caring, heart-centered soul. But if you are in the nature of how do I imbibe upon that vision of other vibrations that are out there for us to experience, we can always just set our minds upon it. I'm going to be open and honest with you guys about the nature of soul embodiment and what it can do. I touched upon it in the video from last Wednesday, and that was the nature of energy work, and it was the nature of pain management. Now, for those of you who know me, know that I often have pain, right? I get it erased for me when I need to work out. If it's too strong for me, I don't need it, right? At some point, the pain goes away. Some people are saying, whoa, I want that pain management. Okay, so others would say, no, if it's going to make me hurt, right? So I will get enough of it so that I don't injure my back. Migraines that were out of control, in essence, for certain people, I could erase those for you with the healing words of your light. That's what I did for my mother at some point. Now, in essence, it's been a long time since she's had those migraines. They were more like headaches of a certain nature. She's also very much taking care of her body. She's in the mindset of health. She's in the mindset of, I'm taking one step at a time to do the work that needs to be done to heal my body. When I heal my body, the pain starts to ease. I can tell you right now, your vision of love is still strong. So, the nature of vibration of family can also say, let's expand that awareness of what pain management might look like for someone who is in chronic health issues. Okay, I'm not going to say whether or not I would be able to always bring about pain management for the soul of, well, someone would say, well, why are you not imbibing on Christ? Is Christ taking away your pain? You're still in the mindset of science. So that's where I am too. I'm not denying science because science helped me. But I am already getting my spirits lifted because people are starting to say this was sounding a little too weird, like I was, out in La La Land with the fact that I didn't have to go to the doctor. Some people know that as a very religious, very, very conservative idea about the laying on of hands, or, vibrational healing is very much a thing. Anyone who's actually experienced it would know for a fact that we do that work. That's when you know your soul's going to start coming in working with you. So that's why we would say energy work is actually a recommended tool for a lot of people who are in chronic pain. What most people will start to do is they'll start off with something that's more about movement of the energy in the body through a means such as, acupressure, acupuncture, or massage. Those are all beautiful expressions. They do, well, I will not deny the beauty of any vibrational healing method. How many people know what that means? Vibrational healing and energy healing are two different things. Vibrational healing is something that's going to help me lift off that energy of conditioning that is somehow holding me back from being the beautiful and vibrant person that I am in my mind and in my heart, but it's not being reflected back to me. So that is a disconnect between who you are and who you think you are. That's all. Okay? When you're doing energy work, it is a soul level vibration that will come through. Now, Brenda's already hearing from a little bit of the angel energy for someone who's saying, well, I would be calling on the angels and I get my visions brought through from that vision of it. The angels are of healing depending on what mindset you have. Have you ever actually embodied the vision of an angel? So we're going to start to vibrate into that vision of love. That is more of that vibrational healing. Christ-centered souls can come and visit me, and I will still give you that vision of a soul level understanding to show you the difference between what his soul would say to you and what mine would, right? So those who are thinking, oh, she embodied her soul, therefore she doesn't know who I am. Your soul is talking with mine in the moment, and we're creating as a collective because there's more than one person here. So we're all creating this beautiful vision of love and adoration for all souls, correct? Do we still struggle with that? That's where we go, okay? And we want to honor your visions, people. It's okay to not like everybody. It's okay not to like me. If you are here, I'm not sure what you're doing here if you don't like me. Maybe you're just curious, or maybe you're a troll. I don't know. And I'm not saying this for anyone that's actually here, but since this is going public on YouTube as well, you know how people are. So, do I honor the trolls? They are the very vision of love because they spend so much time admiring who I am and disagreeing with me that then I can see the vision of love for themselves that they don't hold for themselves. They're in that, right? Why are you spending so much time with me if you don't love who I am? Others want to be told whether or not they have COVID. Okay, now that's the nature of it. So we spontaneously came through with that to reaffirm Brenda's ideas and her family that were sitting with her in the moment. And the people on the screen in the moment got their messages in that moment. I want to reaffirm that that is still the case. I have indeed heard more messages from other souls that I know about whether or not they still plan to partake in that vision of I don't want to get COVID, but I have a feeling I'm on that path. So there are certain people who are on that path of getting COVID that are not in my immediate family, but who are on this vision with me. So in essence, this is why I want you guys to be very careful when you go out without a mask, because that is your guarantee, right? It is not a guarantee for the majority of souls. It is a great way to avoid it. The souls are coming through. I love you. I love you. This is for Vivian. I love you. You need to be wearing your mask. I want to be very clear. There could be several Vivians that I know. Okay. One will be coming across the screen in 2 or 3 minutes. These people are not being judged or dishonored. They are being held in their hearts and souls. And those souls are saying, I know that this is the vision of love for my heart. How many people say, would you want to know if you were on that path of going to get COVID? Or are you one of the souls, and this is not for the person that I just mentioned, but how many people are now aware of the people that are actually embodying that vision of I want to get COVID so I can spread it around, so I can win a pot of money or whatever? Oh, God, people. That is a very beautiful expression for those souls who are that confident in their ability to pray to Jesus, right? Let's just say that that vision is often for the younger souls who do have a more natural ability to fend off the effects of COVID. However, those effects of COVID are expanding within the vision of health and mindset. Most are very much in the I don't really think I'm going to get sick. You will not know what your body is going to be going through in the process of you embodying that vision of sickness. When you start to hear the visions of those souls who were asymptomatic and they still have damage to their liver or their kidneys or their lungs. Wake up, people. I am not here to spread fear, but I am here to be open, honest. Very, very discouraging news for some people. The majority will indeed imbibe this vision of beauty and love and health. This is where we're going. So this is what I'm going to create for all the visions of those who are coming across my screen. Our souls are here embodying that vision of I'm going to spiral myself up out of that vision of health as a negative thing. Now, in essence, okay, someone's winking at me again. Okay. Now, I can have my vision adjusted by my guides, but I don't. There's a reason. I'm supposed to be here in this vision. I don't envision my health being carefree enough, right? How many people say health is a state of mind? That's another, we talk about it, right? It's a state of mind. Am I healthy? What does that mean? For who? Compared to who? Right? My life was a challenge in the health arena. Some people come here to experience extreme amounts of pain, while others get away with doing not much in that vision of COVID. Now, we're not going to focus on COVID, so those of you that are getting tired of hearing about that pandemic, we would say, yeah, we are going to keep reinforcing the need for the mask because the souls are actually creating that vision for it. So you would say they are the ones that are creating the havoc in our lives, right? We are the ones doing it. We have the ability to unwind that vision of ill health, but we have to do it from a place of love for all souls and understanding the nature of global change and global awareness means we are part of all. This is why we're here doing this work. I don't have to go to your house to hear your visions of parties, people. I don't have to go to your visions. I'm not listening to any specific soul. So don't feel like you're being, singled out in my mind or my heart. I don't know. I'm not getting names at this point. But there are people here who are in that vision of, I want to have a party with my hearts. Why can't I do that? Did you go out to the wrong place at the wrong time? That's where I was sitting with my guide. I don't have that issue anymore. I know where to go and when to leave. I thank the soul of Jamie for letting me know that there was one place I needed to leave. And she's going to say, what the fuck? And it was her soul coming through to me in a vision of why I was sitting at a swimming pool with another set of parents on the other side who were not wearing masks. What are you doing, Brenda? This was not about revealing a beautiful expression, right? I invoked that soul for a specific reason, to honor her heart, even though in her mind she'll be like, I didn't have any visions of her with swimming or anything. That's the nature of who I create with sometimes. And in essence, I could have stayed with my own soul, and I am definitely in that vision of I will not be dying of COVID. But it was a call out to my heart from another soul saying, please don't stay in this vision with these people. And guess what? As I left that vision behind, I don't need to talk about what happened. I'm not going to bring through the destructive nature of souls, right? That was the best damn day ever. Let me tell you why. I decided, you know what? I know my kids and I are not going to get COVID, but you know what? I'm going to stage a revolt, right? No, I said I'm not going to dishonor her. I'm going to say it like it is. Join with the souls who actually know what the fuck they're talking about, right? I don't have to worry about it. So why did I do it? Because in essence, I'm doing the work that others want to do, right? How many people say, well, why aren't you out, having a good time? That can change, not by my heart, but one, I have children who also want to go visit their dad, right? Or my family. So my vision of who I am in contact with is very much in alliance with the family and friends and the expansive. I go out to the grocery store, right? Just because I may not get sick or someone in my family doesn't mean I know for a fact that those souls appreciate the fact that I said we are done. No soul will ever come through who says we are not to dishonor those who are not wearing masks. and we're not. It is not a cause. The people that were not wearing masks were not the cause of more cases of COVID. Okay? Because I don't go around where there is COVID because I know where it's at, right? No, I don't know where it's at. I can't pinpoint I could if I needed to, but I don't, because in essence, my guides will let me know, no, don't go to Target today, or don't go in the morning, but go in the evening. No, that kind of thing. Okay, I created a situation where I'm on the defensive from someone saying, that's not right. I wouldn't have said that to you. I would have said, enjoy your time. I hope you have a great time. So people are afraid of that vision of knowing when they would be in contact with someone who had COVID. It's not about deifying those people who have COVID. But you have to understand, we all have people in our hearts who may be more susceptible to a stronger outcome than, say, someone of a young age, right? Okay, so that's even, my own mother, okay? And so that's the vision for me. And I'd want to honor those souls who are going out without masks. It's not about whether or not you're, out and about. We were honoring those in enclosed places who were still, taking those risks. That's where we wanted to kind of, let people know, be more cautious when you're in an enclosed space with those masks. Enjoy your visions of love from above. Most people now understand why COVID was on the mind. Okay, we have people we know that are starting to feel those symptoms. We honor their visions. They are healthy in the mindset. The souls will let you know what you need to know. When you embody your soul, they will let you know what you need to know. And sometimes it's not pleasant. Sometimes it is just not pleasant. I'm not here to destroy anyone's vision of their love for their hearts or their minds. If you're taking the vision that I put forth as a possible suicide, that's no one I know at this moment, but it's someone who came across my screen at one point. I want to honor that vision again and say, keep on trucking. You'll lighten your load the more that you envision that beauty of love and adoration for your heart, for the struggles that you've gone through and continue to go through. You're wrapped in the arms of your loved ones. In your visions, you say, I don't heal that fast. But you are, my friend. You are in the vision of healing, loving, caring souls. We assume that our loved ones who may have been difficult in this plane are somehow still difficult in the other plane. They may have been difficult here. However, they take it off, people. For the most part, some stay in that vibration of who they were for a little bit longer. But in essence, a lot of them take off that vibration as they move over to the other side. Now, soul level vibration doesn't mean, we don't go by family. I don't imbibe on my family tree as my soul. So that's up to you people to sit there and start to unwind the idea of why everyone's always so concerned about their family trees. It's a natural thing, and we love the families. You get to see them. You get to hold them in your arms again. Most people will have that experience with their loved ones. Others may soon discover that they're like, well, I'm seeing other people I don't even know. That's because I'm a guide. So I'm starting to attract other souls who are a little bit friendlier than what I want them to be sometimes, to be honest. Okay. That's another soul expression. You would be surprised what I hear about. And it's not your personal business, people. Sometimes it can be if it's something that's needed for me to know for a reason that is, it's really not. Usually it's very, innocent. Okay. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, that's a little TMI. Okay. But, that's the nature of souls connecting. So at some point, the people that are going to be here are going to start to understand the nature of vibration, souls connecting first and foremost on the heart level and then in the mind. So your hearts get connected first and foremost with your soulmates. Okay? That's the nature of it. Soulmates in our vision, and we're doing this for a very damn good reason, because too many people have this vision that, well, my friend and I, we get along really well, so we must be soulmates. Let's put that down as soul group, please. Soulmates are those that we're going to be creating with from an intimate point of view. Okay, how many people assume, well, did I sleep with someone and now are they a soulmate? That's a question people are going to have. Oh man, am I going to have to meet up with the guy that I slept with in college? Right? Or whatever that was, Okay. Yeah, you are. Most likely you are. And most likely, now listen, we're going to talk about that. Oh my gosh. So people are going to start crossing themselves. You're not going to have to. You got to unwind that shit for people. Okay? You aren't going to have to relive those memories again, right? Some people are like, woohoo, life was a big party for me then, right? And others are going to say, oh, I put that stuff behind me. I just want to be with my spouse. Yeah, you'll be with your spouse and then you'll create a vision of understanding that the souls do still create together, believe it or not. You would be surprised how many people have visions of exclusive soulmates. And then they're like, oh, wait, who is this popping up in my vision? It's something we give you. Because it's a reflection back into a version of who you were. So often, if there is something that needs to be healed from that relationship, we might bring it forth in your vision. Right? Like, am I going to see them? No. Okay, so this is the nature of soul. So when you connect with your soul, then usually it is of a listening vibration, okay? Because you're going to embody that vision. And things could be seen in flashes of visions. We're not going to dishonor anyone's, exclusive vibes. How many people say, oh shit, I slept around? And now I've got to go back and learn from that? Did you honor the vision of your heart in that process? Like literally, it's not about trying to create trauma for you, but we're going to get real with what you have to do. And you go, am I good with how it ended? Right? Or at least am I in that place of peace with it? Or am I still angry? Did it affect me in my mind? Do I still have issues with it? Am I still angry or hurt? Does it still cause me pain when I think about it? If it causes me pain, that usually means there's a little bit more work to be done. Am I embarrassed by who I am? This is another vision of soul. So sometimes it's a tricky little business that we're working with, because I've got several souls on the line in the future that are going to be interested in this, because they're going to be like, well, of course that was painful in the moment. And we're not here saying you need to bring up every little bit of business, that's personal, but it gets brought to you. And you'll soon discover, well, why did I do what I did? Was I on a vision of let me experience the beauty of my body with others? Some people are. Others are very much of the I just want to experience, the loving, caring vibration of partnership. And I don't want to experiment with, drugs and alcohol and, all kinds of wild and crazy things. And others are, think about it. The visions are so vast. And that's the nature of creating with soul. So what happens when you come into that vision of I'm going to embody my soul? The souls come with you. If there is a vision of, ooh, we want to go back, visit that time in my life. So often if we are in the moment with a song and we say, oh, that was a great memory, or if we say, oh, that sucked, so a song can bring heartbreak to us too. That kind of memory, we would say, what is it that we need to look at within that vision? So you were hurt in that vision of heartache. Okay, are you still attached to the memory of the person? Took me 12 years to get over somebody's vision at one point. Now, in my own honor, I'm not going to say who it is, but I have many other souls that I created with from past even that come forth and say, well, here I am and I'm here having fun. Okay, some people that I created with in my past are coming back and I'm getting warned about it. Not in a like, oh, this is bad, but think about it. If I'm starting to like build up energy on YouTube or on Facebook or whatever, and if it goes a little bit higher than what I think it is, I know that I'm going to be creating with a certain soul who had a good time and was, oh gosh, oh my gosh. Okay, we're going to go down that vision. So he had issues with his spiritual path. Let's just put it that way. And I did not abide by that vision. I heard about it later. I did not agree with it. I did not imbibe upon it. I did not, eat, sleep, or drink that vision with anybody. And then it was like brought back to me in essence because I found out who the person really was. And they're going to try and contact me. And I've had that happen before. This is the nature of when we expand our energy. How many people now on Facebook are going, oh my gosh, why did I open myself up to that vision of let's all just start liking, adding friends to our list, let's build our friendships up virtually. That's a beautiful expression. How many people are regretting having certain people on their Facebook list? Okay, that's another vision. I don't. I've had 2 or 3 people that I've had to kind of let go, and that's about it. So for the most part, I want to honor your visions. I see it's 8 o'clock. I'm going to wind this down now, but I'm going to tell you, the people of your past do not come back to haunt you, okay? But this is about the healing modality of soul level understanding. I want you to understand that your past is still with us. That's why I can bring your future and your past together to create the holistic vision of actually who you are. So there's someone there, and I want to say hello and I love you. I can tell you right now, your vision is I don't want to deal with anybody that I slept with or had a relationship with. We're not just talking about one night stands or short-lived relationships. It could be, long-term loved ones, and then the relationship ended very negatively or not. Maybe sometimes they come back into our hearts, right? We have children with people, and then we leave. Okay, I have to navigate that vision. I know it's not easy. Okay. Now, in essence, I also want to tell people that to pray for the religious souls who are thinking they're being disregarded. That's what some people are saying. We're going to open our hearts to those souls who feel like they're being victimized because they're in that mindset of religion. And they might not have got the messages that they wanted to receive from this session. It's the majority of your services are beautiful, by the way. But sometimes people get a little nervous when I start getting really personal, but I would like to prepare people for that embodiment of soul, because I know several that are on that path. And I have to be honest with that vision of what it means. It's a beautiful process, but it's not always easy. When you get through that vision of it, it's like miraculous discoveries left and right. I never knew I loved twins. Right? That was prayed for by my mother. We're going to honor her prayer for twins. It was part of the process. So prayer is not being disregarded. Don't ever feel like prayer is always bad. But we just want you to understand what you're praying for, people. Don't necessarily pray because someone else is, quote, wrong in your mind. If they are in need of guidance or asking for help, please let those prayers come through, right? But in essence, if someone is saying, I think you're the devil embodied because of this work, so I'm going to pray for you, that's a little rich, in the mindset, right? Like, how many people are going to do that? Well, you could be on YouTube and you might be, whatever. I don't need to know that at this point. But it was one of those visions that I had coming at me for a while. And I was like, this is ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with me. I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm receiving. And I know the beauty of who I am. Okay? I can't help it if it's not fitting into your mindset of how life or light is supposed to be. The light of my life is not in the vision of just Jesus. I actually work my way through vibrational shifts, transitions in time, in space, and in dimensions. I embody those dimensional shifts and I bring them forth for us to learn from, experience, and discover. That's the nature of who I am. Some of them are going to rock your world, people. Others will kick your ass. So just sit back, hold on tight, and let God and his visuals of love shine forth, because that's who I embodied as well. Okay? So I want to thank you for your love. Your light is shining bright. Always in your hearts. You don't feel it, but it is there. Honor your hearts. Conditioned minds are okay with us. We love you for them. It doesn't matter if you're creating the most beautiful vision in the world or if you're stuck down in the, dumps of, life at this point in time. It's okay. We will come through and try to lift your spirits if it is it's like on the platter of light. There is a whole host of it's like the women of the world are going to create that vision of I'm serving God. And in essence, I say service is a two-way street. So I honor your hearts because you are helping me to envision a beautiful vision for all of us. And I want to honor those souls who said, oh, I'm feeling a little bit down because I didn't get my messages across as I thought I would with our souls. I'm embodied by my own soul. Sometimes the vision isn't going to be of what you guys would necessarily want to hear. Heartbroken souls, I say, I will love you in the moment as a guide. You're guided and you're loved. Your loved ones are there with you always, creating with you right now. Send those visions of love and imagine their visions coming back to you in a heart-held kiss and hug from them to you, because there's someone there that knows that's exactly what they were wanting. So take care. Open up your hearts to those around you. Remember, the vision is of love, whether or not we like people, but it is of love. And I honor and cherish you all. Good night.